It's your boy Bleeve. Everybody listen up. Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket. That crypto wallet. That bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
What is going on, everybody? My name is Bleeves. This is Breakfast of Bleeves. We've got a weird morning going on. Volume is coming down in the market while the market cap is not down nearly as much, but let's check it out. Before we do, let's get into it. Keg Drum says, smash the hell out of that like button. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in. Helps with the algorithm. Helps more people. By the way, if you haven't already, at least consider. I need one more subscription to NordVPN. I've been doing this for about 8 days now and only got 2 submissions so far. If you have not already, at least consider. In the description down below, there is a link to NordVPN. I need one more sign up in order to hit whatever my goal is. I don't even know what my goal is. I just know that it's there. So if you could help me out, that would certainly, and by the way, $4.99 a month, first 3 months are free. If you need protection on the internet, people are out here stalking you everywhere. People are coming for you all over the place. What you need is some level of protection and security for your browsing, and why not make it NordVPN? So, good morning, Richard Caldwell in the house, Richard Nelson in the house. Ben looks like a great time to buy with it being so low. That is, in fairness, that describes every cryptocurrency. But yes, Ben is starting to wane just a little bit. And I do think there's a reason for that. I think that it feels like to a lot of people, and look, there are a lot of in investment pedantic meatheads. And when they see something, and they see what they're seeing right now is they're seeing Bitboy on vacation, which, oh, I can't believe you've gone on vacation, when they need you to pump it so that they can dump their tokens on everybody. Weird sort of scenario, but that's where we are. And secondly, he's talking about Dubai coin instead of Ben. So because they can't put sentences together and because they can't like work through a problem and come to a logical and reasonable solution, then what they do is they turn all of that into a FUD campaign, which is crazy and ridiculous, but here we are, and that's what they do. Insane, just some real insanity there, but they do that. And I just said doo-doo, so hit the like button for doo-doo, which is kind of weird, but I mean, you do you, boo-boo. Richard Nelson says, good morning. Good morning, Stephen Blaylock. Dalton Wingler's here. Jay Manuel in the house. Saza is here. Jeff T, good morning, everyone, and Bleeves. Maddie B says, buongiorno. Grant Vorshuk, greetings all. Justin W, what up, what up? Daniel Volt is volting it in the house. Is this an Ethereum hat? It's actually a Volcrum hat, but it looked kind of like Ethereum when I saw it, so yeah. What is going on, Trail Boss? Valentin is in the house. Morning, people. Hello from Cyprus. 43 Celsius. Beach is the only way to survive in here. If the beach is, if the water's 43 Celsius, you guys are going to be in for a horrible day. Whoo, good Lord. Did you know, by the way, that that it's 90, the water in Miami is somewhere near 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Woohoo! There is no relief in Miami right now. Burned by Saitama. What is going on? Maddie B, Valentin, all of Europe is the hottest. Yes, it is. But hey, at least we're lucky, and global warming, climate change, it's all a myth perpetuated by the liberals to try to find reasons to use green energy. Right? Ha! Right? Come on. Mr. Bull 23. You know, that doesn't change people's mind, by the way. because that was a big thing, and it's not real, and I'm Candace Owens, and I can't even spell, but also I don't believe in it. And then she goes on Joe Rogan and says, well, and also I've not done any research because I don't believe in research. I just believe in my opinion. Woo, baby. That's your girl. Jay Locke says, good morning, all. RW7610 says, good morning. Justin W, I did. Jay Smooth, what is going on? Wizard Cell in the house. It's 50. God, whoo. That's like, I think in Fahrenheit, that's somewhere in the neighborhood of 110. God damn. Woo-hoo. Oh, CODM, what's up, Believe? Ontario is hot, cold, humid, dry, etc. I don't even know what the temperature is in Chicago. Let's go see here. We are a nice 76 degrees, 1% chance of precipitation, 69% chance, 69, dude, percent chance of humidity, winds 3 miles an hour. We are basically living the dream at this point at 76 degrees. That is, I think, perfect weather, right? That's exactly what you want to see during the summer. But don't worry, over the course of the day, we'll be up to the 90s. And as you can see right here, through the weekend, we're probably going to have a little bit of rain in the forecast, cooling off period. And then it looks like next week we'll be back into the 80s. And then, yeah, woo. But we've got a triple digit heat index value on the way. So, yeah, Chicago's burning it down. As well. It's been like 90 something degrees. Like it's one of those things where and people just don't like the fact that I think heat is awesome. So like I walk out of my car sometimes and it's just super hot and I'm like, that feels so good. And people just cannot understand why I like hot weather so much. But like, who likes it being cold? That's ridiculous. I'm not 9. You know what I mean? Like, warm that shit up. Ugh. Ain't eating cold hot dogs and banana, whatever. Anyway, so the overall market, I'm not real bullish on the market right now. I do think that long term we are bullish. I think we're going to have a nice little reversal, but this volume of 27 billion is still just causing me every day. That's the first thing I look at. I look at that 27.7 billion in volume. Yesterday it was 35 billion. So at one point it was about 40 billion, or close to it, 39 billion. And now we're just seeing that waning sort of disinterest. And it's I was watching, and I'll pull this up and I'll look at it for you guys at some point in the future. But I was looking at where the capital and where the money is flowing. And for the last, I want to say 60 days, the money in Bitcoin has flown out by 12% in the US market. And they're noticing a pattern, which I think, guys, we kind of point this pattern out, right? It seems like the United States markets sell off every single day and just steal the money out of the market, and the rest of the world just kind of pumps it back in. And look, I mean, you're paying it forward basically at that point, because you know that you're going to probably see some kind of pump happening, at some point. So it seems like maybe you're just kind of quote unquote paying it forward, but not a lot to like in the market at this point. Bitcoin dropped. Now it's at 29,142. Ethereum 1855. A little green in the market, but not enough to really cause anybody to be excited. You did get this thing over here from Dogecoin. You got Gary Gensler in the house, just bogarting life itself. Sucking the fun out of everything. Just an absolute buzzkill. But again, Dogecoin's still running just a little bit. Shib, by the way, is having a little bit of a run, nothing major, but it is having a little bit of run. I went long on it at about 76, I think. So it's at 77, 73 right now. So at least that long is looking pretty good. And I think I said to take profit on it at like 81.60. Like it was going to be a short move and a short play. So we'll see how that plays out. But big news of the day, the FOMC will start meeting today. The finance world is abuzz with speculation about the potential implications for Bitcoin and crypto. Tomorrow, on Wednesday, July 26th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the FOMC will announce an interest rate decision. As usual, Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell will face the media at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. So we'll know at 1 o'clock, and then we'll have the meeting at 1:30 Central Standard Time. The CME Fed Watch tool says that people are expecting it's 98% And the Fed Watch tool is right here. So we're predicting a 98.6% chance of a 25 point rate increase and a 1.1% chance. There's no zero out here, by the way. So there's staying at the current the estimate right now is 0% that's going to happen. 98.9% it's growing. That'll be 25 basis points. And then there's a 1% chance of 50 basis points. So that's what it's looking like right now. So I don't think that this is going to matter very much. I think that once we get a little clarity in the market, we might see a move. But here's the thing. And guys, I want you to take this with a grain of salt. The logical progression here, the logical feeling, the logical sentiment for you as an investor is this. If we get 25 basis points, it will be what we expected. And then the market can start to do whatever it's going to do, right? Let's assume that there's probably a 0% chance of a zero increase. If there's a zero increase, then you'll see the stock market probably go. But I think that what we're going to see is the reverse of what we expect. What I think we're going to see is we're going to see a sell-off on Bitcoin, no matter what happens. If we got 0, if we got 25, if we got 50, we're going to see a sell-off because we still don't have and have not grabbed the liquidity needed in this market to take ourselves further. And this heat map is telling you exactly what you need to know. The money that it's going to take is sitting right here in this 28.6 range. All of this right here, all of this liquidity, and to be fair, like 28,400 all the way down into this range right here. This is capital that needs to go into buys in order to propel the price forward. With the thinking here that if you put these people in and they become active players in the market, then they're going to be sitting on top of 29.1 with all of this money, and that pushes us into this 29.5 and back up into 30, and then gets us into that bigger and longer range over here on the 7-day. As you can see out here, it's going to have to propel us into this 30 and this 31,000 in order to get there. So the liquidity pool is going to come down here, sweep through this area, and then come in here, sweep through this area, and then we'll make a decision again because it'll start to fill up along the way. So that's what the market's going to do, and that's the natural progression. But look, if you're looking at this and you're saying, well, once we have the FOMC, then we've got some clarity in the market. That clarity in the market is going to lead to a sell-off this time. That's the feeling, and that's the general sense that I get. I don't know about you, but certainly feels that way. But let's move on right now, because the big news really is Shib. Shibarium, the new video hints that Shibarium could release very soon. There is a video up on the Shibarium YouTube channel if you want to go check that out. And it struggled to cross resistance at 508 right now. But the fact that Shibarium is drawing closer means that this thing is going to start to flip back around, and we're going to start to see some movement out of Shib. And again, I told you guys that this thing is going to run super hard, right? Like day chart, we're going to start and it's going to end up and it could be muted, by the way, because I put it here at like 1463, but I think that it starts to get towards this right here. The last time it had that big move right there, that is a kind of parabolic move that happened, and I don't think that there's any time left. I'm starting to think that because from here to here, like it doesn't feel like there's any time left. You know what I mean? So for there to be a significant run, and by the way, I don't know that the launch is on August 16 as well. That was just speculation running rampant throughout the internet right now because of that conference next month. So, and it starts on the 15th. So it was looking like somewhere around the 16th or 17th is when we can start to expect it to be launched. But here is what's happening right now. We have moved back over on the day. We've moved back over on the 50 SMA, which means that a bounce to the 200 is probably imminent. Dropping that zero is going to become important, and then we'll see if it springboards from there. But once we get a little bit more confirmation, a little bit more along the way, then I'm sure that Shib is about to make a big and significant bounce. Now, Watcher Guru took the time today to create an article that says, will Shib climb above its all-time high of 86.16? I don't even care. Like, I don't even think that's, I have no idea what the logic or anything like that is, but they're saying that the prediction table for that is 2029 and 2030. And remember, the AI algorithms are not taking into account any ups and downs in the general market or a bull trend and a bear trend. It's not doing any of that, right? It doesn't do that. What it does is it just says, well, hey, based on the way the price is right now, and based on some accumulation over time, you can actually, so from 88, the average price is 92, then it goes up 400 points, then it goes up about 500 points, then it continues, and then it starts to go 900 points because it's a combination of those, then 900 plus this is this, like it just continues to add it up along the way, is basically what it's doing. It's just saying that from here, without, again, no bull run involved. Now, moving on. CZ was away at Binance.us. Now, again, remember, by the way, that's CGI. That is not CZ. But this article, I think, is a lie. I don't. Wall Street Journal reported this. Says CZ was aware of wash trading at Binance.us, and I don't want to say that this is dodgy logic. I don't want to say that because that's that's disrespecting the Wall Street Journal. But this is the summary of their. I think this is the summary. Okay. So it says the Wall Street Journal that Binance CEO CZ was aware of wash trading. According to a report from the Wall Street Journal, in the first hour of Binance launching its American platform, Binance US, around $70,000 worth of Bitcoin, around $70,000 worth of Bitcoin was exchanged. The media accessed the internal communication where CEO CZ allegedly admitted the volume wasn't all from external traders. He says that was ourself, I think. Now, that doesn't deliberately say that they were wash trading. That doesn't that doesn't say anything. Now, that could be anything. It could be that they were doing some of their own trading. Some of their own traders were doing trading on Binance.us. And by the way, I don't know the legalities or anything like that of being able to do it. I know that they have a policy against it, but that doesn't mean that that's what happened. So it should be noted here that this is no admission of anything. And I know that CZ is probably looking at this thinking like, what? Like, how do you even reach that conclusion using logic, right? Well, that's the Wall Street Journal's logic because, you know, it's the Wall Street Journal. And wash trading, just so you guys know, wash trading is a deceptive practice in the finance markets where an entity, typically a trader or a group of traders, artificially inflates trading volumes by repeatedly buying and selling an asset to create the illusion of higher market activity. If you don't know what that means, look at the Bored Ape Yacht Club. Look at how much money some celebrities were paying for Bored Apes way back in the day, and then look at the transactions that you see on those Bored Apes leading up to that, and that is wash trading. People were buying and selling amongst themselves in order to pump the price of it, in order to create an appearance of value, and that's why ApeCoin isn't doing anything, because people got tired of it, people saw it, people knew it was happening, and Mutant Apes, all of them. Well, it was all going on. So wash trading isn't enough anymore, which is why the NFT market is collapsing, because the underlying asset is the smart contract. It's not the NFT. Nobody gives a shit about your monkey on a baseball card. You know what I mean? What people care about, and people do care about art, by the way. They are used for profile pics, stuff like that. People do care about art, but not in the way people are trying to make it seem. So that's what wash trading is. Most of those are doing that. And BTFA, wash trading, that shit too. Absolutely. So, but let's move on. There is plenty of wash trading going on everywhere. Binance expected to launch crypto start. And by the way, big Binance news. I expect to see, by the way, a BNB pump coming pretty soon. We've seen some downward pressure as it fights on this 50 SMA on the daily and on the hourly. We're seeing a little bit of downward pressure as it decouples from that 50 SMA, but I think that just means that it's regrouping right here at this 236 level, 237 level, and it's about to have a reversal. And the reason for that is Binance is now fighting back. Binance is expected to launch a crypto service in Japan by August. And remember, it was in Japan, left Japan, and now it's heading back in. It's now in full compliance with Japanese laws. According to a notice in May, the exchange planned to discontinue services for Japanese users on its global platform in November, offering current users the ability to migrate to the new local platform through a new identity verification. Initially, the exchange planned to offer up 30 digital assets for spot trading on the platform, but now they are going deep into Japan. They must have made a deal with them. So here we go. So we've got some positivity coming out of Binance. Now, the next step is Binance has filed an intent to dismiss the CFTC complaint. Along with its CEO, CZ, intends to request that the CFTC's latest complaint against the crypto exchange be dismissed. Now, that doesn't mean that it will, obviously. But it says the foreign Binance entities and CZ intend to file a joint motion to dismiss the complaint. Lim intends to file a separate motion to dismiss and join parts of the motion filed by the foreign Binance entities and Zhao. Binance has also requested permission to exceed the standard 15 pages limit on the brief that the exchange will use to support motions for the dismissal. And listen, here's the crazy thing. The crazy thing here is, again, when you're looking at internal, not necessarily emails, but like these text chains, right? You're looking at these internal text chains everywhere, and nobody knows the context of what was actually being conveyed during that moment, right? And there's a guy by the name of Bill Burr. He's a comedian, and he says in one of his comedy episodes, like, context matters. And the whole thing is, like, you don't know that they're not saying, oh yeah, it's all a big scam, like we're a big securities violator. What they're saying is, when you go to court, it says, yes, we're a big securities violator. And you're looking like they're taking the context of the conversation, and they're just changing it to suit their needs. Like, these guys could be playing, there are plenty of chains. I've been in change, text chains, where guys are talking about S-ing each other's D's because they're joking around. It's not real. It's just like, sometimes you're in sports and you're in football and stuff like that. You just pretend everybody's in love with each other and shit like that. I mean, you do stupid stuff, right? So it stands to reason that stupid stuff is being done here, and that it's not all entirely professional, that these guys are joking around. And when they say something like, you realize we're running securities here, right? That's somebody's opinion. That doesn't make it a fact. So Gary, if you're still in here, shut the fuck up. But I think that they're going to start saying, look, this is crazy what you guys are saying and what you guys are alleging, because you got somebody's text messages, and you're taking them out of context in order to build a case. You can't build a case on the context of something that you don't understand. And I think that's going to be the argument. And I think that you're going to have somebody in the CFTC, you're going to look at a judge, and the judge is going to be like, yeah, that is kind of stupid. So we might see some of this stuff being dismissed on Binance. Some of the serious charges, some of the serious things, I think, are still out there, and I think they still have to contend. Has finally used their resources, and they are fighting back. And by the way, Northern District of Chicago, or Northern District of Illinois, that's Chicago, baby. They filed in Chicago. Yeah. Now let's move on. Crypto exchange Rain has received brokerage and custody approval, which means that we've got another Rain Trading Limited has been granted the first financial services permit by Abu Dhabi Global Market Financial Services Regulatory. Boy, that's to operate a virtual asset brokerage and custody service. So somebody else has entered the arena. We might be seeing Rain start to pop up. Moving on, Dogecoin has triggered 10 million in liquidation for short sellers because of this move that we seem to see kind of continuing right now with Doge. It looks like we've started to liquidate some of these longs along the way, which has been kind of a good sight. Look at this. It's up 4% right now, bucking the trend of the broader market and continuing to move towards the upside. How high does it go? I don't think that it revisits that 15 cents. I think it was back here a little while back. Or 10 cents. That doesn't feel right. It seems like it was closer to 15 at some point. Yeah, 15. There we go. I don't think that we revisit this 15-cent run that it has when Elon first started pulling out his hat and started doing that shit with it. But as you look at this right now, I will say that it looks like we are forming this nice little without breakouts here, that we're forming a nice little parallel channel heading down. We are here, which would mean that there is a potential for a breakout. Now, if there's no breakout, then I would start looking at the downside on this, and the downside on this puts us at about 5 cents. In the event that Doge breaks down to 5 cents, I would become a big buyer at 5 cents. By the way, like that seems to me like a no-brainer at that point. So at some point, Dogecoin is going to come to fruition, and Elon is going to turn it into a payment method. Somehow, some way, he keeps coming up with funky ass shit like every single day. So I heard that somewhere, probably one of those Dan Fogelberg records or something like that. But it looks like we've got some positivity out of Dogecoin. I don't know that it continues. I don't know if it continues to move like that, but we'll see what happens. Now, Coinbase has stepped up and said, Australia, you're going to need to speed up your crypto regulation in order to stay relevant. Now, I don't know if that really matters to Australia, but I think that a lot of us out here are really starting to look at these overseas markets and see that they're starting to make waves, and they're starting to create all of these new markets, and it's taking away from the United States. And look, once these businesses start to move away, by the way, if you didn't know, Bencoin is going to be moving to Dubai. And I think Bitboy is going to form an office there. Probably the hit networks will form an office there. I don't know if they're still going to be working out of Atlanta, Georgia for the studio, but they do have they do have an office space. They do have one person going over there right now to get everything started. So the attraction is becoming too much for people to start moving to Dubai. So we might be in for something incredibly interesting if the United States doesn't get its what is the old phrase, feces coagulated. So, but Australia might start to step up, and it might start to do something new. Japan signals more Web3 promotion policies are coming. I put this out of order. God damn it. I did mean to put it next to the Japanese thing. Japan signals more Web3 promotion policies are coming. Prime Minister Fumio Kishida said on Tuesday that the country plans to improve the environment for Web3 when it comes to using tokens and revitalize the content industry, which goes hand in hand with them also saying, hey, Binance, come on back, bro. We got you. So now you're starting to see Japan move a little bit closer to being part of God damn it, how do I say this? Deeper into the Web3 environment, more accepting of cryptocurrency. You can see that the United States just continues every single moment to fall behind. And by the way, the Japanese and the Australia, that's like the 5 o'clock people or the 6 o'clock people on the East Coast. That's when you start to see that pump start to happen. That's usually because that market is waking up. In case you didn't notice that. XRP falls 27% from yearly high. And the only reason that I brought this up is because doesn't it feel manipulative? Like it was a couple days ago that it pumped up to, I want to say 81, 82 cents. And now we've got this article here that says XRP falls 27% from yearly high. Here are support levels to watch. Like, really? That's just Jesus Christ. And we're dismissing the article after that. But so far, the market is $1.9 billion down, moving down, testing this 50 again. As you can see on this, on the daily, we tested the 50 over here. Looks like we're coming down for another test on this. And maybe there's a reversal. I don't know yet. I do think that we still need to reach down deep, grab some liquidity, and make that move. But the 50 SMA on the daily is still moving in the positive direction. Yeah, well, so for the false hope for Dogecoin, I don't think that matters really, whether it is false hope or not. I think what matters overall is, do you have enough people in your community slash cult to continue to hold the price floor until there's an announcement. And like Resonance, I don't think it's very honest when we make a determination in a bear market about something like that, because even if, like in a bull market, when if there were an actual bull run, a bull market, and we had capital entering, again, we only have $1 trillion in capital in a market that had 3 trillion 2 years ago. So when we're looking at it like that, and we're just kind of taking it as a contextual thing right now, here's this simple thing. If the market cap triples, and it won't triple for everybody, but if the market cap triples, and this is a top 10 token, by the way, doesn't it stand to reason that this thing is going to triple as well? So, you know what I mean? And well, and here's the thing. It's not Elon, it's the community, but Elon lights the fuse of the community. That's what matters. That community is only as vital or as vibrant as when they feel they're being loved on by Elon. That is part of the cult of Dogecoin. So when they feel like they're being attended by Elon Musk, then that's when you start to see this thing move. But I mean, again, when a bull run hits and we have $3 trillion in capital in this market, which is probably going to be 6 trillion in this next bull run. But if there's 3 trillion, then this thing is going to be at least worth 21 cents. Doge is mad because they went in at 50 cents. No, it's still a cult. I mean, every crypto is a cult. I mean, like we all hold up one token. We all have this one thing where we're like, yes, this is the thing that's going to take me to this next level. That is a cult. I don't mean it like, I don't think cults are like, look, everything is a cult. I'm not saying it because it's bad. I'm saying it because that's the word that describes it. You all have a similar belief system about what's going to happen with something going forward. That's exactly what it is. And you're willing to tell other people about it and push on it. And we're getting a pump in the market right now. Since the market has opened, Dow Jones is going down just a little bit. Yeah, there you go. I mean, there's a lot of people. People are going to come in, they're going to go out there. But I mean, that's the nature of cryptocurrency, is that we're all like little mini cults all over the place. Maxi. Yeah, that's another word for cult. It's the same thing. it's yeah. You had a decent argument on why we should still watch Bitboy, but Zach went into more detail and showed that he sold his coins after he made the videos. I don't know who Zach is, so I don't know who that is. So let me know. But so the broader market, look, we might get a little bit of a relief rally here, by the way. We might get a little bit of a move. I don't think that there's going to be. I think that we're still destined for 28,006. So I'm not really convinced. Zach XBT. Oh, right on. Zach went into more detail and showed that he sold his coins after he made the videos. All right. Well, I haven't sold, so I'm still going to hold on. Zach XB, and by the way, there's a lot of people who are attacking all of these crypto guys, and there's a lot of people who in the future, if I have any level of success in cryptocurrency, guess what? They're going to be attacking me too. Do you know why? Because people are shitty. People are shitty people. And like, for example, Chad does not like the fact that I support Bitboy. Well, I don't know what the problem is, because I have promoted Strange Inu. Strange Inu rug pulled everybody. They pulled the wool over my eyes. Phantom. I promoted the Phantom project. And look, I thought I put $30,000 into Phantom. I thought that Phantom was going to be a nice big pump. I thought that, and as a matter of fact, even the developers, when they reached out to me, they were like, yeah, I mean, dude, like whatever you put into it, like I would take that out initially on the initial pump. And then, because they had done like almost 700 ETH in pre-sale and stuff like that. And so I ended up losing $30,000. Like, it's worthless now. They keep telling me that they're going to be doing something pretty soon, and they keep going through a process where they're trying to make something happen. But I lost $30,000, and there were other people that lost just like I did. A couple days ago, I had these people from Monkey approach me, and this guy was telling me all about how, oh, look, I've done this thing before. I've done like million, billion, trillion X account, 100,000 X. What about 1,000? Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, dude, I don't give a shit. Just like, let's do this. And it's not a rug pull contract. It's not stuff like that, right? And then the next thing you know, all of the original investors just sold, right? And now he's like, I'm relaunching. Can you help me? No, I can't help you. So the reason that I don't, the reason that I don't criminalize in my mind people when shit like that happens. Like, I like to joke with people about it. Like I can make a joke about rug pull Rodney and stuff like that, but we're all kind of in a situation in which something like that happens, and we can't get around it because really people are just shitty. Terrarium had, I want to say it was 3 doctors, a movie producer, and an airline pilot as their initial team, and they are dead on arrival at this point. And who knew that their CEO was out of his mind, right? Like, who knew that he would be attacking everybody on crypto Twitter and just going absolutely bonkers and batshit? Nobody ever said, by the way, that they were going to be taking money out of the liquidity pool in order to pay the salaries of a bunch of people that they had hired in order to make a centralized exchange. But on the same token, that's what an investment is. Like, people on Twitter are people in crypto don't understand what an investment is into a cryptocurrency, especially something that's trying to create a business, a real world business. It takes capital, and that capital comes from the liquidity. It comes from you, the investor. And then what happens is, if they do a good job of that, then they create something that has a value that people want to be a part of. And then the way that the people invest is they don't invest in the stock of that company. They invest in the crypto of that company, which is a tokenized asset. I mean, it's just basically a tokenized stock, right? So that's what happens here. And it turns out that they just didn't do a great job of it. And, like, I feel good, not because, like, I feel bad because Terrarium just absolutely wrecked and they couldn't find a path forward. But I felt good because, I put in like $1,500, I want to say, at the beginning, and I cashed out 37,000 when they had that Binance thing. And look, that Binance thing was not good either. But by the same token, I thought that, look, if you get scammed, I'm going to say that they were scammed. I'm not going to say, because I don't know. And they never said that they would just deal with it legally, blah, blah, blah. That's their way of saying, shut up, we're not talking about it. And to argue about that is childish to me, because, guess what? It doesn't matter. All you're doing is just, look, here's what I think. If you're on crypto Twitter and you're arguing with developers on a cryptocurrency, you're a little bitch. That's it. That's it. Because nobody appointed you the white knight of whatever. And if your logic is, well, somebody's got to do it. No, they don't. That's stupid. That you're standing in a public forum that's really kind of a private forum, just tossing text messages back and forth at each other that other people can read. Like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. So you won't see me. You'll see me messing with people every once in a while. Like this stupid little dingbat from Pepe 2, the highly functioning retard guy. Like, I don't dislike the guy. I like his name because it fits. You know what I mean? Like his name fits. Because he was telling you, oh, you should be buying Pepe 2. And I'm sitting here telling you it's 100 million market cap. This thing is going to tank on you, and you should get the fuck out because there's no more money left. It's 100 million market cap. And then he was like, no, we're going to go to 1 million billion jillion. He was too close to it. Now, do I hate the guy? No. Do I dislike the guy? No. Did he attack me and spend a whole lot of time doing everything but talking about how I was right and he was wrong? Yeah. Did it matter? No. Like it doesn't matter because they weren't even arguing about they weren't even arguing about the product at this point. Like they were just complaining because I was right and they're a bunch of wrong ass bitches, right? And then there was one of them, and it was one of those Saitama maxis. It was one of those Saitama maxis who's always just kind of around there and going, terrarium, every time I say something that he doesn't like, or he's, you know, he does some shit like that, right? He was in there helping because he's a little scam artist too, trying to wreck everybody. But he's like, scam, bling, you know what I mean? Just doing stupid shit. It's Cobra something or other. Who jacks off to Andrew Tate, by the way? Who jacks off to Andrew Tate and then names themselves after Andrew Tate? Like, are you kidding me? What are you, fucking 9? Are you, I mean, really? This is what we're doing here? Like, I'm so cool on Twitter. I'm so cool. I'm the coolest guy you ever know. You know why? Because I am also Cobra. I'm Cobra, the Cobra commander of Tate, right? Like, your Cobra Taint? Isn't that just an asshole? You know what I mean? You guys know what I'm talking about. But anyway, so you have these people out here, and they don't want to talk about how I was right and they were wrong, how they were just scamming you in order to steal your money, in order to give you, to convince you to put liquidity into a dead project, right? They didn't give a shit about that. I not only told you that it was going to crash, I also told you where it was going to end up, what was going to happen when it got there, how you should make money on it again, where it could go, where it would go, and where it could possibly go. It didn't go to the possible place, by the way, but where it would go, it went there. We took profits again, and then we just let that motherfucker go because it was dead. Ta-da! You know what I mean? Like it was simple, and they didn't see it, and they're horrible. They're horrible for that. You know, and that's the thing. Just like Derek says right here, rewatch your old Saitama. And as a matter of fact, you can see me go from supportive of Saitama because I think that it's got the potential. I think that this is, you know, something special. And it was at that period of time. And then things got crazy. Look, and by the way, I did hear not that long ago, Russ, who says, you know, a lot. He was in a Twitter Spaces, and they were talking about, it's possible maybe we took our eye off the prize a little bit, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And by the way, Saitama is partnering with Dubai Coin, who is also, so Saitama is going to be on that yacht along with Bitboy Crypto on August, I think the 13th. I want to say it was August the 13th. And I don't even know how that shit happened. But now it's got me like, what in the absolute is like, look, I have no opinion at this point, is what I will say about it, because I don't know enough. But I mean, like, damn, getting a nice little pump right now on Bitcoin. But like, Saitama pops up in the weirdest places, and they are part of that Dubai thing right now. And by the way, 29,330 might be where Bitcoin ends right on this little pump here. Or could go up to 29.5. Like if you're in a good position right now, I would certainly be looking at this. I don't think we're gonna get much of a pump, but I mean, market is reversed, so we'll see what happens. Guiley, the meeting is going to start in just a little while, so we'll get the meeting for today. I don't know about it being evil, by the way, but the meeting starts today, and then there's a secondary follow-up meeting tomorrow, and then we'll get the announcement at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. Jerome Powell will take the podium and do his mom's spaghetti, bullshit. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's why crypto is still considered the Wild West. You really don't know what these companies are doing behind it. That's exactly right. I got a friend of mine, Derek. He's got a token, and he's under attack from people because he's trying to merge real world Web 2 into Web 3. And in order to do that, that means he needs to take from Web 3 and pull it out into wallets and pay for stuff in Web 2 in order to fund the enterprise and fund the business. But because Dingy McDingbats, the crypto Twitter sleuth detective blockchain experts, they can track when you make a transaction from here to there, but then they don't know what happens when it goes to that wallet. So then they just make shit up because they're as seedy and dirty as the rest of these assholes, right? And if you believe that the white hats in this space are the blockchain detectives, bullshit. they're as bad as everybody else. As a matter of fact, I'm seeing one of them, who happens to be a buddy of mine, a little bit under fire in the last little bit because of something that he's involved with. And I was actually genuinely surprised. And it turns out that this guy was scamming people. And he's one of those white hats. Because look, here's the thing. There's a testament to your character, and you don't always answer the call. But here's the thing. Are you doing the best in your life? In your life today, are you doing the best that you can for you and your family? Because guess what? In order for CZ Binance to become a billionaire, he stepped on a lot of people along the way. But we consider him to have that white hat, right? Because he's talking good for crypto. Michael Saylor, we consider Michael Saylor to be a Bitcoin maxi and a hero for cryptocurrency. Many people do, not everybody, but many people do consider him to be a good person for cryptocurrency, because he's a maxi. He's promoting the benefits, and he's promoting all of the good things that come out of cryptocurrency, while trying to minimize some of the negativity on it. But he's a Bitcoin maxi. He hates everything but Bitcoin. So we put a white hat on him too. A lot of people put a white hat on Elon Musk. The same Elon Musk whose stepmom is also his sister. That's gross. You know, that's the thing. I don't dislike Zach XBT. I don't know Zach XBT. I don't know whether he's good or not. I don't know whether Zach XBT is good, bad, or indifferent. I just assume the worst in people when I'm dealing with them. And by the way, Zach XBT could be my best friend in real life for all I know. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, for all I know, he could be, he and I could be like best of friends, but I don't know him at this point, and I don't believe, I believe that there's always an underlying something or other involved. So, and what he does with Bitboy crypto, or whether he quote unquote exposes Bitboy, I don't give, like, there are certain cryptos that we get bad cryptos every once in a while. Right here, Saitama Lily Terrarium going to 10 billion market cap. When the bull run comes back. Well, Terrarium is never going to go into, because Terrarium is dead. But Lily, maybe. They're about to make an announcement, I think on Friday, that might be a game changer, or it could be just something normal. Like they haven't communicated with me, because my friend was Barney, and Barney is no longer with Lily. And so, and I don't know what's going on. I reached out to Barney, and Barney said, can't talk about it. So I have no idea what's going on with Lillian, good, bad, or indifferent. I do have another friend who was involved with Lillian, who was on a thing with me at one point, and I know what he thinks about the people who are like still in charge, and it's not favorable. So I just smiling, and you know, I'm an investor, and when they were doing that thing with Coinbase, like I'm one of the people who put $5,000 into it to try to support the price action. So I'm down $5,000 on that. You know what I mean? So, yeah. And Barney busy playing with little kids. Well, he's got children, so yeah, I would assume that he probably is. Weird comment though. Do you think the Quntum guys are going to honor the Terrarium holders who still love the? I don't know anything about Quntum. Like like Milton is disappeared. By the way, if you go and look at Milton on Twitter, he's deleted his account. So I don't know what we think is going to happen with him. If I have some, like, I think here. Well, I did have a link here. Yeah, here, Milton on Twitter. So here, I click Milton on Twitter, and it says this tweet is from an account that no longer exists. So Milton has deleted his Twitter. So, I mean, is there a new Quntum that I don't know about? So, I mean, Quntum could still be there. Let's go see what's going on with Quntum. Beck Quntum is still out there. Quntum.com says it's very much alive, but it hasn't posted since June 8th. Says it was launching on June 30. It did not launch on June 30. We haven't seen anything of it. I mean, the one person I did talk to was Dr. Praveen, and he's taken some time. So I have no idea what's coming, or if anything is coming. So I have no idea. So to me, dead. Saitama, probably not 10 billion market cap, probably 3 billion, maybe 4 billion, maybe more. I don't know. And then Lillian, we'll see what happens. As far as the Coinbase thing, I can't even tell you what I was told. So, I'm just kind of stuck in that position where maybe one day I'll have a story to tell. They called me, they told me, hey, do you want to come on this stream? Well, I have no reason to not come on the stream. I'm supporting a friend, right? And then it was my idea, by the way, to have Lily be the person that announced it, because they were convinced that it was real. They were all convinced that it was real. So I have no reason to think that it wasn't real. And I think that they moved to a V2. And I think the underlying context that we should all get out of that portion is that there was something wrong with the contract and that it couldn't be listed like they wanted it to be listed, and they had to move to a V2 in order to have a chance of anything being listed with major exchanges. There was something wrong with the contract, and then they fixed it. But then I saw this stuff about leaks and stuff like that. I have no idea what's going on. There's nobody's talking to me about it because I'm not, but I need that thing to about 10x at this point for me to feel comfortable. But that's not going to happen right now. So I'm just going to hold on to it and see what happens. And as far as Bitboy goes, I like Bitboy. I have no reason to not like Bitboy. I think he's a little bit hot under the collar. I think he invites way too many fights. I think he puts himself into positions of his own device that cause negativity and sentiment to be unpositive around him. But I don't know. I mean, I still like the guy. I've still talked to him a couple times. I like him. I talked to Cassie. I like her. You know what I mean? Like I don't have any reason to not like any of those people. I do admit that Saitama thing makes me feel a little bit weird, but one of my buddies is she's part of Saitama. So, and she trusts me. I trust her. So, And there we go. And Scott Herman, he's given me plenty of reasons to not like Bitboy. As a matter of fact, Scott Herman sent me a video, and basically the video, here's the thing. What I saw from Bitboy was the same thing I saw from myself. What it was the same thing I saw when Scott Herman was out here promoting Saitama far longer than he should, because he was wrecked on it or because he was in a position that he couldn't get out of. We all kind of saw that crazy shit. The reason that I don't condemn him is because I was in it myself, and I've been in it. Matter of fact, I've been in it a lot more than Scott. I think, I think Scott was in one situation because he had just gotten into kind of crypto and stuff like that, so he got stuck in one, and then he found WAGMI, and it was a place for him to put his focus. You know what I mean? He had a place to put his focus, but not all of us do that. And Scott has, I think 2.7 million subscribers on a fitness channel. So he had a revenue stream that was coming in from that. And he was allowed, in his mind, he was allowed to work with on the whole Saitama thing and stay positive with it, because, he had this thing going on in the background that he had a life, right? So, we all end up in projects too long, right? We all end up in situations where, look, Volt has a market cap of 17 million right now. I was there at 255 million. I could have sold. I didn't sell because I was partnered with them. And then they didn't tell me that they weren't going to partner with me. When it was trading at, what is this, 5 zeros, 11.25, I could have gotten out, quote unquote, with $12,000, $13,000, and then just been I'll buy in later on at a lower price, right? I didn't have that option. It tanked, and then after it tanked, they said, "Oh yeah, and by the way, we're not partnering with you for right now. We'll call you maybe in a few months or something like that." So got put in a bad position, financially, a bad position. But and I mean, again, right here, I believed in Saitama in the beginning. And sometimes you get these things and you're in them too long and you're believing in them. And and I watched these things that Scott said that Scott sent me, by the way, about Bitboy, and I'm not disagreeing with. I've been put in too many compromising positions by cryptocurrencies. If you guys remember, Scott did not join me, by the way, on Shift Fitness app. Scott Herman is perfect for Shift Fitness. Like, are you fucking kidding me? He's got his own, like Scott, dude, Scott is my friend. Scott's from real world Brooklyn. Scott's from, Scott has a thriving cryptocurrency channel. He's the CMO of WagMe Games. Like Scott is a guy who's been big into fitness, and I couldn't get him into Shift app. And guess what? The Shift app developer told us he had a partnership with Powerade, that Shift was going to be on the Powerades, and then all of a sudden he got drunk and he got just absolutely hammered and wasted. And Ponzi Slayer called me and was like, "Get the fuck out, man. I don't know what's going on with this dude." So I sold, and then the next thing I know, Ponzi's like, "This dude is just absolutely out of his mind," right? I'm like, whoo, you know, and I mean, like, we all lost on that, but I mean, that's crazy, right? Like, we all get into stuff because we're hoping for that big pie in the sky. We're hoping for that big payoff. So I tend to think that when people still become a face and they still come out here and do this, that I don't think that's a testament of who they are. I do think Bitboy's an asshole, and I do think he runs pretty hot. But I mean, we're all kind of assholes at some point, right? I am too. Scott is too. Scott has his own lake. Did anybody ever tell you that? Scott has his own lake. Scott calls me one day and he's like jogging around his lake. You know what I mean? Like, just show off. Anyway, it's time for me to get to work. So guys, thank you for tuning in. Hey man, you never know, man. But look, listen, I gotta go because I gotta get to work. So this is not financial advice. My name is Bleeves. I'm always right. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time. There's plenty of things you could be doing with your day. You could be watching Cryptos Are Us, that little son of a bitch, over there stealing viewers. You could be watching Scott Herman over here. You could be watching replays of Scott Herman. You could be watching the Real World Brooklyn, which is still available on streaming networks. You could be rubbing one out. You could be doing whatever it is that you're doing or that you could be doing during the day. But you took the time to watch me, and I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we'll talk to you again tonight for bedtime.
Whoa, another shot of the bullet. Loaded, got complex, cocking and pulling. That bottleneck look like the Loch Ness. What are we doing? I'm about to fall out, boy, and the proof's in the pudding. So, can we forget about the things I said when I was strong? I ain't mean to call you that.